Kia ora koutou. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou. My name is Peryman, and I'm partially responsible for creating Cultivate Christchurch. There's one other co-founder, Fiona Stewart, who's at work. We're a highly professional organisation, and that's why I've been given the title the Underground Scientist. But basically, I'm just a compost nerd, and I love working with other people, and I love creating opportunities for young people to join in on that. So, a little bit about us. We provide employment training for young people, essentially, in a nutshell. That's what we do. And the youth who come and work with us are paid as interns and work alongside our team as we produce food in a small-scale, intensive urban agriculture style of farming. We sell the food, we're mostly growing fresh herbs and salads, and we sell that food to restaurants and cafes in the CBD of Christchurch. And as you can see from the image there, we are in the central city of Christchurch on that side. In those spaces, the urban market garden is an accessible environment for some of our most disadvantaged young people. These are kids who just need one opportunity to experience something positive in their lives. Working alongside our staff, we're able to essentially form a relationship with them that's not a clinical context. It's not a program where you've been sent to get fixed. It's a working environment where you're valued as an individual alongside everyone else. And in that space, we can get to know one another and start to share what it is that's perhaps getting in the way of us truly blossoming. What we do is premium organic psychotherapy, and that's resulting in a high quality fresh produce and a genuinely transformative social change. There's something immeasurable about what happens in that space, and that's essentially that for a lot of these young people. We've got to remember these are kids coming from a life of intergenerational poverty, domestic violence. There's no food in the fridge, no food in the cupboard. They're living extremely difficult lives, and often what we're doing with them is restoring their will to live. The flip side of that is there is measurable stuff, and this is using government data, treasury data. For each of those young people, government defines them as at risk of going on to poor outcomes later in life. That's a euphemism, but essentially repeat crime, unemployment, all sorts of horrible stuff. Every one of those that we can shift the dial on, we save the taxpayer $130,000. So far, we've had 10 out of 16 in our first couple of years, and we're at a point now where we can sustain the 16 of those on an annual basis. And so that amounts to over $3 million a year in cost savings for the taxpayer. I got asked a question by somebody here last night. How do we re-impassion our young people to want to grow food? And I don't think there's anything we actually need to do to our young people. We just need to give them the opportunity to experience that, even just once, and it will flick a switch that is inside each and every one of those young people and in all of us. And that switch is a sense of purpose. That's all. So we set out 4 years ago, and we had a 5-year plan. We wanted to go from starting out with grant funding. That's how we got started. And the mission was to grow to something that was a sustainable business model. And so with the sales of produce, we're now we will be setting up a fresh produce store in a new covered market going to be built right in the heart of what I hope to become the true centre of Christchurch. It's going to be 7 day a week, fresh produce, local producers, and to get this over the line we need sponsors, so a shameless plug for Cultivate. There's our contact details. Get in touch. There's much more to this. Not only will we be able to sustain what we do, we get more high quality food to the people of Christchurch as well, and spread that love even further. It gives us a platform to tell our story and to invite people in to jump on the waka and join us on our journey. And where that's going is really exciting. This is a map of 2.2 hectares in the residential red zone along the river in Christchurch, where I think it's roughly 8,000 houses were cleared after the earthquakes. Land's been sitting there doing not much other than getting mowed and the edges sprayed. And for 7 years I've been waiting to grow food there, and I finally have had a 5-year lease approved, where we'll be able to do a whole nother iteration of setting up a centre for regenerative learning in the heart of Christchurch. My dream actually, that strip down the side there is the river, and it leads around and into the CBD. My dream is to park up a little boat and put our first crop onto that, and then down the river to the market and serve it to the people of Christchurch. So yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Can we scale? Yes. This is already happening kind of by osmosis. This is a photo of a urban farm in the heart of Auckland. What's really cool about this site is that 4 months ago, that was vacant. There was nothing there. These transformations can happen really quick, especially with proper investment. There's a whole circular economy to plug into this as well. We built the soil on our site, the first 900 tonnes. We started with a vacant lot on rubble. We built the first 900 tonnes of soil by collecting food waste, composting it, and then growing food in it. This is the small-scale composting unit that deals with all of Raglan's food waste, and it's a low-cost solution. This costs $200,000 to build, a lot cheaper to run. A similar system like this is what we use to Cultivate, just small boxes. It's home-style composting, nothing fancy, but it's prolific, and it conditions the soils to produce high-quality food. It's meaningful work for a young person who's got a whole lot of energy to let rip in a positive environment. The really exciting thing is we've got property developers coming to us and saying, we want to integrate food into our housing developments. How do we do this? So we just realised we've actually got some IP, not lofty ideals. So we're sharing that. And the value proposition there is essentially we'll surround your communities with an abundance. 90% of New Zealand's population, or just under 90%, but close enough, is urban-based. And that's where our next generation of food producers is going to come from. They need the opportunity, which is as simple as creating a space where we can learn together and practice these things together. They are viable commercial operations, as urban farmers in the North America are approving these small-scale intensive methods. And it's actually the type of farming that is 70% of the world's food production anyway. Props to the rural women of the world. This is another example of one of those farms. JM in the middle here on 6,000 square metres, 1.5 acres. was able to earn a comfortable living for his young family, and got picked up by a billionaire and said, "Can you scale this?" And so he said, "Well, what I really want to do is to train young people to do this for themselves as well." He calls it replacing mass production with production by the masses, and I love that. This is a whakatauki, or a Māori proverb that was gifted to us recently, and again, I think it's something that really resonates deeply for me. There's a lot of doom and gloom out there, and the destruction is evident, but really, I think the most important thing that we need to be doing is sowing seeds of hope into the minds of our young people, and then they can flick that switch so that they believe it's truly possible to turn their ship around and live wonderful, happy, abundant, and productive lives. So thank you very much, and please do get in touch. We need your support, and we wouldn't have got here without all the many people who have chipped in. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your time.